Hello, beautiful people. It's a brand new day, and I'm super excited that you tuned into my podcast for today. Thank you so very much. It gives me so much joy and happiness each time you tune in because I'm certain that each time you tune into the Metamorphose podcast, you're on your way to becoming a better version of who you are. That's my passion. That's my goal, is to ensure that everyone can live where they are now to where they want to be. If only you can practice these secrets I share on my weekly podcast, you're on your way to becoming a better version of who you are. Because change is the only constant thing in life. So you have the capacity to live where you are now to where you want to be. If only you will be willing to take the necessary steps. And by listening to this podcast, you're on your way. That journey just started. And I bet you will never regret it. On today's podcast, I'll be talking about a beautiful topic titled Mind Shift, maintaining a reading culture. Mind shift, maintaining a reading culture. So every one of us, we know one of the first things we are taught when we grow up and when we can talk is the ability to recognize letters, and from then on know how to read and the likes. So one of the basic reasons why we go to school is to be able to what? Read and write. That's to make us understand that it's something that we cannot do without if we truly want to achieve greatness and if we truly want to become a blessing to God. Understand that reading is a vital ingredient if we truly want to change where we are now into where we want to be. And so on today's podcast, I'll be enlightening us on the importance of reading and why we should fix it in our schedules if we truly want to be outstanding. Number 1, reading sharpens our mind. By concentrating on the words and the storyline, it stimulates our brain. This particular stimulation can help sharpen our minds, especially that part of the brain that is responsible for concentration and critical analysis. So this is one of the benefits of our mind. So if we want to sharpen our minds, we need to read, not just when we feel like, but on a daily basis. If we truly want to sharpen our minds, it stimulates our brain. It helps us to concentrate and it helps us to be able to analyze things. Number 2, our vocabulary. I don't know about you, but for me as a person, reading has made me discover words that I have never thought of once in my life and that I've never come across. And so, it has introduced me to new words that I cannot count. So, reading increases our vocabulary. When reading, you might come across a few words you don't quite understand or even recognize. This confusion can lead you to look up the word and discover the definition. Very true. So it opens us to new vocabulary. So when you get in contact with a new word, you simply check it in the dictionary. Number 3, importance of reading. It lowers our stress. The act of reading and focusing on the written word can help relieve your mind of the pressures of the day. By pulling your mind away from the stress at hand, you can also relax and let the stress melt away. So very true. It lowers your stress. I know we are in a busy world and we look so stressed from our work and the pressures of life. But I tell you, when we read, we take a break from the normal world and we enter into an imaginary kind, and it helps relieve stress. It helps us to see beyond our present circumstances. Then number 4, reading decreases our depression. Reading, especially self-help books, can help ward off depressive occurrences. Just like with lowering your stress levels, reading stimulates the part of the brain that deals with depression as well. I know so many of us who are suffering from depression because of maybe low self-esteem and other factors. But I tell you, if you can engage in reading on a daily basis, you will lower your depression. You will no longer feel anxious. You will no longer feel not valued because, one, reading opens us to a whole new world. Janet Winterson once said, books and doors are the same thing. You open them and you go through into another world. So whenever you feel depressed and you feel as though your world is coming to an end, get a good book and I tell you, you will enter into another world. You will quickly leave the state that you have been in for a time. Number 5, reading improves memory and focus. Reading at least a little each day can improve your focus and your memory function. In this instance as well, reading stimulates the brain, particularly the part of the brain that helps with memory and what? Attention. And so if you want to improve your memory, then, and you want to be focused on the tasks that you have, then ensure you read on a daily basis. Then number 6, reading strengthens your writing abilities. Whether you write things for work or just for fun, happy reading can improve your writing skills and abilities. There are several ways in which reading can help strengthen your writing skills, and each of these ways happens without you even realizing it. Because when we read, our minds begin to process information, and before you know it, we get new thoughts. Before you know it, you get inspired, and so it can help you develop the art of writing. And so if you have always wanted to be a good writer or to be a good author, then develop the art of reading on a consistent basis. Number 7, reading enhances our imagination. Consider the words that you are immersed into and the characters you come across while reading a novel. Because of these words and characters, the part of your brain which houses your imagination is stimulated, causing you to imagine what the places and people look like just by picturing the words. Very true. So if you want to go to a country that you have never been before, get a book about it. Your imagination will be stirred up, will come alive, and so before you see it, it will be as though you have visited that environment which you have never done. So while reading stimulates our what? Our imagination. Books are mirrors. You only see in them what you already have inside you. Barack Obama once said, reading is important. If you know how to read, then the whole world opens up to you. The whole world opens up to you. So in reading, you can imagine. It stimulates and enhances our what? Imagination. Then number 8, reading boosts your sleep. Reading, since it helps you relax and distress, can help pull you into a deep and peaceful sleep. That sounds like it might be too good to be true, but reading can, in fact, help you sleep. So if you have been having problems of insomnia and you are like, you stay late in the night without sleeping, and maybe your sleeping patterns are irregular, then I encourage you to read on a daily basis. Get a book before you sleep. Read a book, and before you know it, it will boost your sleep. Number 9, reading helps us to enjoy entertainment and peace. Any reader knows that reading can be peaceful and induce a relaxing state of mind. By immersing yourself in a good book, you can almost feel any stress or worry melt away. Very true. A good book is fun. I can tell you, seriously, a good book is fun. Please, if you have never developed this habit of reading, I encourage you to, because it will help you a whole lot. It will enable you to enjoy life. You can read about anything, maybe love novels and the likes. Before you know it, you feel joyful and you have peace of mind. Then number 10, reading can brighten your day. Books can bring joy to your life on a daily basis. The act of reading is a great benefit both to mental and physical health, but it can also brighten your day very well. It can brighten your day. So maybe at times where you feel down, you feel not up to the task, get into the reading mood, and I tell you, it will stir you up into achieving more and more. I know so many of us, we have a problem with reading based on our busy schedules and the likes, but we can also download audiobooks. Very well, there are audiobooks that you can download. So when maybe you want to buy a book online, you can also search for the audio downloads. In that way, you can listen to the book whenever you are. Maybe when you are driving to work, maybe when you are having dinner, when you're having lunch, or when you are taking a walk, you can be listening to something beautiful. And I tell you, if only you can add reading to your daily schedule, you will discover how your life will change, how your life will metamorphose from where you are now into where you want to be. I will end today's podcast with the words of Descartes, which says, "The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries." So if you want to rub your minds with one of the finest minds in life, of people who have achieved greatness, then read their books. And I tell you, you will never regret it. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Readers are leaders. So if you truly want to lead in your generation, if you truly want to be among the set of people who will change the tides, who will write their name in the sands of time, then you must be a good reader. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast for today. I remain your host, Andrew Ologbo, and I am passionate to ensure that you become a better version of who you are. Thank you so much. You can reach me via all my social media handles. On Instagram at Andrew Ologbo, Andrew Andrew Ologbo Ologbo. On Twitter at Ologbo_Andrew. On LinkedIn as Ologbo Andrew. And on Facebook at Andrew Ologbo. Thank you so very much for listening to my podcast. I will continue how we can develop the habit of reading, the action steps we can take in my next podcast. So do well to stay tuned. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful and a lovely week ahead. Thank you.